Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Alright guys, good evening. My name is Amador, and this is a presentation, how does baby grow inside a woman's womb. Do you guys know what a womb is? You have no idea what a womb is. A womb is this area right here, which is inside a woman's stomach in here, like around where my finger is. You see where my finger is? That's where a womb is inside there. Okay? And you see what is this right here? An embryo. An embryo is when the baby is in the first trimester, which is very small, beginning to grow and to develop. Okay? Alright. Do you know how big a baby is in the 5 weeks?
9.
Huh?
9.
No, how big a baby could be at 5 weeks old. No one knows? Okay. This is a 5-week-old baby. Sesame seed. That's a 5-week-old baby. You see how little that is? That's 5 weeks. The baby's that little. You know how baby at 7.5 weeks look like? You have no idea. It's the size of a kidney bean, which is this right here. You see how small that baby is? That's 5 weeks. Okay? Actually, that's 7 weeks. Alright? You know how a pregnant woman looks like at 7.5 weeks? Right here. Cordelia, my wife.
Oh.
That's 7.5 weeks. Okay? That's second child, obviously. Okay? Go ahead, sit down, baby. Now, we don't know if it's a boy or a girl yet, because a boy and a girl won't be developed until the third trimester. Second trimester develops at 4 months. Okay? Do you guys know the developing stages of the first trimester, second trimester, and third trimester? Do you guys have ever heard of that? Okay. The first trimester, the baby is just being developed. It's not even, doesn't even look like a baby. It just looks like a little round ball. You see that? You see how it looks? That's about the sesame seed size right there. That's about 4 to 5 weeks. 2 months, if you guys see, it's starting to develop. It looks like a little baby shrimp. Okay, you guys see? Baby shrimp. At 3 months, it's already showing. It's very small, but it's starting to have hands, limbs, which is arms, legs, and you can tell there's a head, and you can tell the mark of the eye, where the eye is going to be, the nose and the ears. That's the first trimester. The second trimester will be the baby starting at 4 months. Okay, 5 months, 6 months. Then the third trimester will be 7 months, 8 months, and 9 months. Obviously, that's how a mother looks like being pregnant at about 5 or 6 months. You guys seen, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
So
Sophia.
anyone could tell me anything what an embryo is? I mentioned it a few minutes ago.
The baby.
The beginning stage, the embryo is in the first trimester, the very beginning. That's an embryo. After that, it starts turning and forming into what a baby should look like. Do you guys have any idea the size of a baby when he's 12 weeks old?
Like a shrimp.
A lemon or a lime,
11.
like about that big. Okay, do you guys know what 12 weeks is? How many months is 12 weeks?
3.
3 months, correct. So the baby is this big at 3 months. Do you guys know when the baby is at 3.5 months? What size will the baby grow?
14 centimeters.
It will grow up to the size of an apple.
Apple.
You know when the baby is at 35 weeks? 35 weeks will be about
14?
8 months, more or less.
Oh.
Okay, 7.5 to 8 months. Okay, and you know how big the baby is at that month, at that time? Hold on a second. Baby. Hold on. This is the baby at 35 weeks. So the baby grew in 35 weeks, actually in 30 weeks, from here, from a sesame seed to this in 30 weeks. You see how fast a baby develops inside a mother's womb, which is right in here, inside a mother's womb, and then the fetus, and then the baby starts growing and starts developing, and then it starts off something so small as here to about to give birth 9 months, and there's no space for the baby. The baby's just ready to come out. Any questions for this quick presentation? Anyone? Questions? Yes?
How does a baby has to sit in the mother's belly?
How does it sit?
Yeah.
The baby is actually floating inside the mother's. If you see right here, the baby's actually floating in there. You see it's connected by the umbilical cord. And that's how the baby gets fed, breathed, all the necessary things for the baby to develop. And from here, the baby keeps on growing and growing until it's just not enough space. By 9 months, the baby needs to come out. That's why you see women giving birth around that. Generally from anywhere between 35, 38, all the way to 40 weeks, depending. Maybe some women even up to 42 weeks.
9, 12, 16, 24.
So, any questions?
Shh.
Twins? Any questions? You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I said yeah.
Any questions?
No.
So, no?
No, you good?
Yeah.
Okay.
What questions do you have?
How do you know when the baby's eyes open?
When the baby's eyes open, when they're in the stomach. Well,
Yeah,
the
right.
baby's eyes starts developing and opening anywhere between 5 months, depending on the development of the baby, 5 or 6 months, the baby opens and moves around, opens his eyes and moves around, and actually hits ribs and any other organs, just moves them around inside the mother's stomach. And the mother starts, feeling pain due to the baby's movement. Any other questions?
Does the baby has enough space to stretch?
In the beginning, yes. The first couple of months of development, yes. But when they get towards the end of the second trimester, the end of the second trimester to the beginning, toward the end of the third trimester, the baby don't have that much room anymore. Especially for the last 2 months.
The first one, yeah. The second, yeah.
So the baby's tight in there.
To the fourth one. So 5th to 9th, you can move.
Any other questions?
At what time does the baby's heart start to beat?
Around 5 to 6 weeks. The heartbeat of the baby starts beating, which is one of the first organs, actually one of the first organs the baby develops. And you can see the little heart beating. In fact, my wife's heart, baby beating, is beating at what?
146
146 beats per minute. That's how fast the little heart is beating. So any other questions?
No. What is this?
What is that? That's the uterus.
No.
That's where the baby attaches him or herself and gets all the nutrient from the umbilical cord. Any other questions?
How about if the baby doesn't get enough food and drinks?
The baby always gets enough foods and drinks inside the womb because it sucks the mother's nutrition. Even if the mom don't eat much, it will still get mother's nutrition. It will take the calcium from the mother's bones, it will get any sort of protein from the mother's Any other questions?
No.
So that's pretty much finishes my presentation. So you guys are free to go.
Thank you.
Thank you.